Hello, it's Kenny. This is the first of 3 short lessons here, all dealing with the 3rd level technical. You can ignore this, as I said in my introduction, alright? But, I think it's very good to do your exercises if you're an athlete or a musician or whatever you do. Okay, so I'm just going to focus on the scales today, alright? And the first one is the D major scale. And D major has 2 sharps in its key signature, F sharp and C sharp. Okay, just for review, F sharp is there, C sharp is there, alright? Everything else is white notes. Okay, now these are to be played hands together at this level, alright, for 2 octaves, so it sounds like this. Okay, just 2 octaves, an octave being from one D to the next to another D. Okay, I know a lot of this is probably all review, just always good to review there, okay? And D major has what I call a standard fingering, alright? And I've shown it before, but I'll show it again. It's when in the right hand, you go 1, 2, 3, and then you pass your thumb under, and then 4 fingers, and then pass the thumb under, and then pass the thumb under. And on the way down, you're passing your 3rd over, and your 4th, and you're passing the 3rd over. All of those fingerings are all there, okay? All written out. You can get the score anywhere, really, on the internet for these scales, because there's no copyrights on scales by any means, all right? But they're at the bottom of this video. You can always find that we're giving you sheet music. Left hand, very similar. This is a standard one. All right, I say standard because most scales are in this fingering, all right? So you go up, and then you pass the 3rd over, and then pass the 4th over, pass the 3rd over, and here on the back, you're passing the thumb down. Okay, very simple, all right? So practice them separately. You don't have to do them all at once, okay? But if you're uncomfortable just with one hand, just keep practicing until you're comfortable, and then eventually just go slow. And it'll just get very natural, all right? Before you can just do it in your sleep, all right? You're welcome to use a metronome if you want. You can get free metronomes on your phone, or even on most of the keyboards have a metronome if you're having problems getting the rhythm straight. I'm not going to use one right now because I think you can do it by yourself without a metronome. But anyway, that's beside the point. Now, moving on to the relative minors. And why are they called relative? Well, we'll get into a little bit of theory again. I'm not going to, just because it's technical, doesn't mean we can't talk a bit of theory. Why are they relative? They got that same key signature, those same 2 sharps, B minor harmonic and B minor melodic. And I have talked about this before, but to find the relative minor from a major one, you just go down 3 semitones. 1, 2, 3, okay? Any scale that does it, all right? If you were in C, it would be 1, 2, 3, you'd be in A minor. It's relative, and they are very closely related, all right? The D major chords and the B minor chords are almost all the same, and you can use them in certain pieces. You'll have minor chords and major chords, so you have to know these things. Now, there are 3 types of harmonic and melodic and natural minor, so I'm just going to review a little bit about what they are. The harmonic minor, the natural minor is very simple. It's the same thing with no changes, but the harmonic minor does this thing here, all right? You see, notice there's an A sharp there. Okay, it just raises the 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all right? It raises it, and the same on the second, going up again, okay? All right, that's the harmonic one. It's probably the most common one, all right? All right, you just got to get used to it, but you'll always find this raised 7th when you're playing in minor scales. Now, for this one here, the B minor harmonic, standard fingering. okay? No change in fingering. However, there is a change in your left hand fingering. It starts on 4 instead of your normal 5. And why that happens is if you started on your 5th finger like you did in the major scale, you'd end up with a real awkward thumb on the black note there, which you really don't want to try to, you want to try to avoid it, all right? So by starting on the 4th, you end up with your 4th finger. And you'll end up on your 4th there. All right? It's just to avoid awkwardness. It's really hard. If you try to play it, go ahead, try to play it, and you'll see. It just doesn't feel right, okay? That's the harmonic one. Just remember, it's got that raised 7th. Instead of an A natural, it's an A sharp, okay? Now the melodic one is a really strange one, okay? I don't know who invented this, but it's quite common here too. All right, same fingerings. But what it does is on the way up, it raises the 6th and the 7th. And then on the way down, it goes the completely opposite. It puts them back to naturals again. So on the way down, it is actually that B minor natural minor scale, all right? So you have a really weird thing going here. You change it going up and down. And when you're comfortable about do them separately, just put them all together. Okay, the only thing might be a little awkward is the B minor harmonic has some weird stretches. There's a big stretch between that 3rd and the 4th. It's a bit awkward, but you'll get used to it. And it's quite common in any harmonic minor scale because you got that minor 3rd stretch in there, which is a little awkward compared to most scales where you either have full tones or even semitones. All right? It's just something you got to get used to. Okay, those are the D major and its little twin siblings, the B minor harmonic and B minor melodic. Okay, on to F major. It has one flat, B flat, in its key signature. So the scale is quite simple. Okay, but if you were noticing, there's a slight change in the fingering here in the right hand. The left hand is normal, it's a standard. But the left hand is a little easier. Instead of passing on the 3rd, which would get your thumb onto that flat. Again, I said, as in the B minor scales, you don't want your thumb on the black notes. It just makes it uncomfortable. So you just change it slightly. Instead of passing on 3, you pass on 4. All right, not too tricky. Just something you got to get used to, all right? All right, so you get that all together. To go any faster than that. If you feel like it and you're comfortable, it's just go ahead. Okay, now on to its relative minors. Remember, you go down 3 and we'll find we're in D minor, which has the B flat right there, the same key signature as F major. And again, you'll raise that 7th note. So instead of C natural, you'll have a C sharp right there, okay? Always in the harmonic form, you raise the 7th. All right, this is a standard key, standard fingering, so I'm not going to discuss that. It's the same as in your normal, you're passing your 3rd, and in the right hand, you're passing your thumb under the most common fingering, so we don't need to discuss that at all. All right, the D minor melodic form is when you make them change, going up and down. So on the way up, is different than coming down. On the way up, instead of the B flat, you have a B natural and then a C sharp. And on the way down is just that B flat. Alright, just exactly on the way down, just like it would be an F, but you're starting on the D. Alright, same in the left hand. Okay, and then very slowly do them together. And that's all there is for F major and the D minor scales. Now, the last group of scales, some people find these a little trickier, the B flat major and its relative minors. The B flat major is a little tricky. It's got two flats in its keys. It's your B flat and E flat. But the hardest thing is, again, with these colored notes up here, it actually starts on a black note. You don't want your thumb there again because it really gets awkward. Just the way the human hand is made, it's just awkward to be playing with your thumb sometimes on the black notes. You have to do it sometimes, of course, when you're playing real music instead of scales, all right? But anyway, the B flat major is another different fingering. Passing under again. Best thing to do is just look at the fingering on a score, but you right away from 3 to 1, and then you pass the thumb under onto the F. You end up on your 4th finger. Don't end up on your 5th. And in the left hand too, it starts on B flat, so you want to start on the 3rd instead of normally on the 5th. Okay, a lot of people find this is a difficult scale to learn at first, until it gets natural. Funny thing about the left hand is it ends on your 2nd finger instead of your thumb. But as always, it's just practice. Okay, and how do you find the relative minor of B flat? Oh, here we are. Down 3 semitones. And we're into Mr. G minor, okay? And these aren't too bad. They're not really bad because you're starting on the G's. You're not starting on that B flat. Okay, so what do we have to do here? On the harmonic form, raise the 7th note. Instead of F here, you got an F sharp. I don't have to say anything about the fingering of that. It is exactly the same. And the melodic form, what do we do on that? Over here. Okay, you raise the 6th and the 7th. So here we go. Instead of E flat, you got an E natural, and then an F sharp. And on the way down, it's the same, just the 2 flats in the key signature, the natural minor. No change in fingering, okay? And when you're all ready, put them all together. Do it at your own speed, all right? Whatever pace you want. You can start anywhere, really. And if you really want, go 4 octaves, 3 octaves, it doesn't matter. These are exercises. Just try to enjoy them as much as possible. You see, even I make mistakes after practicing these things for years and years. That's what happens. You get all clumsy or something. And just put your hands together. It can happen. All right, that's enough of the scale. See, anyone can make mistakes. All right, that's the end of this lesson. I'll have another couple short ones, some weird scales, and then some chords. And then we'll be all done the level 3 technical exercises.